Okay, system status check. I am just deleting the audio files for episode 45 as per the user protocol.
Right. Yeah, get rid of those.
Okay, that is done. And the status is ready to record episode 47.
We rolling?
Yes, we are rolling. Hello, dreamers. Welcome to episode 47. I am Anna.
And I am Lucas, the future millionaire. Anna, look at this lottery ticket.
Oh, Lucas, if you waste your money on the lottery, you will be poor forever.
Please do not be such a pessimist. You call it wasting money, but I call it investing in my destiny.
Investing in your destiny.
Yes.
Yes.
This little piece of paper is not just paper. It is a key to a new life, a life of luxury, a life of absolute freedom.
It is a piece of paper with numbers on it, and the statistics are definitely not on your side.
You're just jealous of my future wealth.
I am really not, but I see that you are in a very imaginative mood today. You really have your head in the clouds.
My head is in the clouds because, well, I am planning where to park my private jet.
Your jet?
Or maybe my helicopter. I haven't decided yet. I mean, I might actually need both.
Right. Well, while you are parking your imaginary aircraft, we have a job to do. We need to help our listeners today.
Our listeners will be very happy when I buy them all a car.
You are not buying anyone a car. But actually, your obsession with this lottery ticket is the perfect starting point for today's deep dive into the source material.
Really? Wait, you're going to help me pick the winning numbers?
No, I am not a fortune teller. I am going to help you and our listeners speak correct English.
Ooh, grammar.
Yes, grammar. Today is all about luck, money, and a very specific grammar structure called the first conditional.
The first conditional. That sounds very technical. Is it as exciting as winning $10 million?
It is even better because it is real.
I doubt that very much.
Trust me, the first conditional is the grammar of possibility. It is the grammar we use when we talk about the future and the consequences of our actions.
So, talking about my future jet.
Exactly. It is exactly the structure you used, or, well, tried to use when you were talking about your dreams. It is the grammar of the word if.
Ugh, if. Such a small word, but it holds so much power. Like, if I win, if I become rich, if I buy a tiger.
A tiger. Please do not buy a tiger. But yes, exactly. There are rules, though.
There are always rules with you.
Because rules make sense.
Yeah.
So you represent the dream today. You are the dreamer, daydreaming about wild possibilities.
Broadly.
And I am going to represent reality. I am here to bring the logic and the grammar rules.
Logic is boring. Dreams are fun. Yeah. But, okay, fine. I accept the challenge. I will be the dreamer. You be the reality. Where do we start?
We start with the words themselves. Before we can build complex sentences about your imaginary wealth, we need to understand the vocabulary of luck and money.
Okay, hit me.
Let's unpack the situation you are in right now. You are holding a ticket.
Yes, a beautiful lottery ticket.
And you are hoping for the jackpot. Let's make sure everyone listening understands that word. What is a jackpot?
Oh, the jackpot is the big prize. It is the mountain of money, the ultimate goal.
Right.
When you play the lottery, you don't just want to win $5. You want the jackpot. It is the top prize that totally changes your life. It's kind of a funny word, isn't it? Jackpot.
It is a bit funny. It actually comes from old card games. But in modern English, it represents the absolute pinnacle of luck.
The pinnacle.
Yes, the highest point. We even use it in idioms. If you find a great partner or land a great job, you can say, I hit the jackpot.
So it doesn't always have to be about gambling.
Exactly. It just means a stroke of massive good fortune.
That is true. Like, I hit the jackpot when I found this recording studio. The coffee machine is excellent.
I am glad you think so. Now, to get that jackpot, you have to rely on luck.
Sweet, sweet luck.
Yes. Luck is a fascinating concept. It is the idea that success or failure is determined by chance, not by your own actions.
Well, I don't know about that. I feel very lucky today. I woke up, the sun was shining, I found a coin on the street. Surely that is a sign.
That is superstition, not luck.
You are destroying my dreams.
I am grounding you in reality. Let's look at the action you performed. You bought a ticket. That means you placed a bet.
A bet.
Yeah.
B-E-T.
Correct. To bet means to risk money on a result that is not certain. You are betting that your numbers will be chosen.
I am betting my entire future happiness on it.
Which is a very dangerous bet. But there is another very important verb we need to discuss, and it comes up constantly when we talk about money.
Which verb?
It is the verb to afford. A-F-F-O-R-D.
To afford. Oh, I know this word very well. Mostly because I am usually using it in the negative.
Right. I cannot afford it.
Hmm.
Let's define it clearly for our listeners. To afford something means to have enough money to buy it.
Simply having the cash.
Well, it implies you have the financial capacity. It goes a bit deeper than just having the cash in your wallet at that exact moment.
How so?
Well, think about it. You might have enough money in your bank account to buy a very expensive pair of shoes,
Okay.
but if you buy them, you won't be able to pay your rent next week. So can you really afford them?
Ah, I see what you mean. So affording implies that you can buy the thing without completely ruining your life.
Yes, it is about financial safety, having the means to do something without negative consequences.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we actually use it in non-financial ways, too. A native speaker might say, I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
Oh, right. Because they don't mean they will pay a fine.
Exactly. It means the consequence, like losing their job or losing respect, is simply too high. They don't have the capacity to handle the negative result.
That is surprisingly deep. So, right now, in my current reality, before the lottery drawing tonight, I cannot afford a Ferrari.
You definitely cannot.
I want a Ferrari. I dream of a Ferrari. It is red. It is incredibly fast. It is Italian.
All lovely things.
But I look at my bank account, and the bank account says, no, you cannot afford this. You could afford a bicycle, maybe a used one.
A bicycle is very good for your health, but this is a perfect example. You cannot afford a Ferrari. And most people cannot afford Ferraris. That's actually why the lottery is so tempting. It promises a world where you can afford anything.
Anything at all.
It completely removes the limit of affordability.
Just imagine that, walking into a store, asking, how much is this castle? 10 million. Sure, I will take 2. I can afford it.
It is a nice thought. And that brings us to our next key concept, what you are doing right now. That has a specific name in English.
Having vision.
No! It is called daydreaming.
Daydreaming. That sounds nice. Like dreaming during the day.
Precisely. To daydream is to dream while you are awake.
I do this all the time.
It is when your mind wanders away from the present moment, away from work or study or reality, and you start thinking about a fantasy.
I am a professional at this.
I know you are. In fact, just watch. Listeners, pay attention to him right now.
Wait, what am I doing?
Just relax. Think about the jackpot.
Oh, the jackpot. Yeah, so much money. Millions and millions.
Just look at him. His eyes are glazing over.
I could buy a yacht. A big white yacht.
He is completely gone. Lukas.
The ocean breeze.
Lukas.
Huh. What? Oh, sorry. I was gone for a second there.
Where exactly did you go?
I was daydreaming about my private helicopter. It has these amazing leather seats
Of course it does.
and a mini fridge stocked with really expensive soda. And I was flying over all the traffic, just waving down at all the people stuck in their normal cars.
You see, that is act out perfect. You were physically here in the studio, but mentally you were in a helicopter.
It was a great helicopter.
That is daydreaming. It's a mental escape. And here is the important connection to our grammar lesson today.
There is a connection.
Yes. We use the first conditional to talk about these exact daydreams. We use it to connect our present reality to that future possibility.
So grammar is basically the bridge between where I am sitting right now and the leather seats of the helicopter.
In a way, yes, it is the tool we use to explain how we get from point A to point B. It maps out the consequence.
Okay, I like that.
But many students, and sometimes even you, try to build this grammatical bridge incorrectly. It is true. They use the wrong materials. And the bridge collapses.
Okay. I definitely don't want my bridge to collapse. I need to get to that helicopter.
Then we really need to talk about the double future mistake.
The double future.
Yes. This is a very serious error. It is perhaps the most common mistake that intermediate learners make when talking about the future in English.
The double future. It sounds like the title of a sci-fi movie. The Attack of the Double Future.
It is a horror movie for native speakers, I assure you.
Really? Is it that bad?
It is. Here is the scenario. A student wants to say that if it rains tomorrow, they have a plan to stay home.
Very logical plan.
In their native language, they might use the future tense for both parts of the sentence.
Right, because both things are in the future.
Exactly. So they translate it directly in their head and they say, if it will rain tomorrow, I will stay home.
Wait. If it will rain tomorrow, I will stay home.
Stop saying it.
But that sounds, okay to me. It is logical, isn't it? It is all in the future. The rain is in the future. The staying home is in the future. Why not use will twice?
Oh, no, my ears. It literally hurts just to hear you say it.
Wow, dramatic.
It might seem logical to you because of your native language logic, but to a native English speaker, that sentence sounds clumsy. It sounds unnatural, and it is just wrong.
Unnatural, huh?
Yes, it sounds completely redundant.
Okay. I am sorry for hurting your ears. So what is the actual problem? Why do native speakers hate this so much?
The problem is the word if. You have to understand that in English grammar, if is a very powerful word.
The word if.
Yes, it changes the rules of the entire sentence. Think of if as a time machine.
A time machine. Now, who was talking about sci-fi movies?
Hear me out. When you say the word if, you are already transporting the listener to that future moment. You are setting the scene for them.
Okay.
Because if already does the work of setting the future context, you don't need the word will to do it again in that same part of the sentence. It is totally redundant. So if is already doing the heavy lifting. If is the boss.
Exactly. If is the boss. And here is the golden rule. I want you and everyone listening to listen very, very closely.
You're listening.
I want you to write this down in your mental notebook. Listeners, write this down physically if you can.
Okay, hit us with the rule.
Do not put will next to if. They are enemies.
Enemies. Like Batman and the Joker. Like cats and dogs. Exactly like that. They cannot be in the same room. They cannot be in the same clause together. If you put if and will together, they will fight.
That sounds dangerous.
It is grammatically dangerous. Imagine if as a giant force field that pushes will away.
Okay, I am visualizing it. So if is a big, tough bouncer at a nightclub, and will is definitely not on the guest list.
That is a brilliant analogy, yes. If he stands at the door of the closet and says, "No, Will, you cannot come in here. You have to wait outside," in the other part of the sentence.
I love that. So if will cannot come in past the bouncer, what tense do we use?
Yeah.
Because the rain is still happening tomorrow. We can't just change the time, right?
This is the magic trick of the English language. The word if pushes the verb back into the present tense.
The present tense.
Yes. Even though we are clearly talking about the future, grammatically, we use the present simple right after if.
That is really strange. Talking about tomorrow, but using the present.
It is just how the structure is built. It takes a little getting used to for learners. So instead of saying the terrible if it will rain, we simply say if it rains.
If it rains, present simple.
Correct. And then in the other part of the sentence, the result part where the word if is not looking, that is where will is allowed to hang out.
So will is safe over in the second part. I will stay home.
Exactly. You've got it. So the full correct sentence is, if it rains, I will stay home.
That's right. If it rains, I will stay home.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel the rhythm of that now. It flows much better.
It does, right.
Yeah. If it will rain is super clunky. If it rains is very smooth.
It is much smoother. And this brings us right into segment 3 of our deep dive, where we are really going to break down the formula. We call this specific structure the first conditional.
First conditional. Why first? Is there a second or a third?
There is actually a zero conditional, a first, a second, and a third.
Wow, a whole family.
It is a whole family of grammar structures. But today we're focusing mostly on the first. The first conditional is used for real possibility.
Real possibility. Okay,
Yeah.
so things that can actually happen in reality, like me winning the lottery.
Well, grammatically speaking, yes, it is technically possible. It is highly unlikely, but it is not impossible.
Thank you.
If you were talking about magically turning into a dinosaur, that would be impossible. That would require the second conditional. But winning the lottery or rain or missing a train, these are real physical possibilities in the future.
Okay, so what is the mathematical formula for this? I know our listeners really like a clear structure.
The formula is very simple. It is if plus present simple, then a comma, then will plus the base verb.
Let me repeat that. If plus present simple, comma, will plus base verb.
Exactly. Let's do some interactive practice with it. I am going to give you the if clause, which is the condition, and I want you to complete it with a logical result using will.
I am ready. Test me.
Okay. Example number 1, a total classic. If it rains,
I will stay home.
perfect. Notice for the listeners, if it rains is present simple. I will stay home is future with will. Example number 2. If I have money.
I will buy a car. Hopefully a Ferrari.
Good. If I have, not if I will have. Next one. Let's see. If she calls me.
I will answer. Well, unless I'm sleeping. But yes, for the grammar, I will answer.
Good clarification. And one more, if we don't hurry.
We will miss the train.
Excellent job. Now, listeners, I want you to try this wherever you are. I want you to repeat this core phrase right after me. Say it out loud. Ready? If it rains, I will stay home.
Come on, do it with us. If it rains, I will stay home. Just feel the grammar on your tongue. It feels right.
It does feel right. Now, there is one more structural detail we need to mention about this formula.
What is that?
It is the flexibility of the sentence.
Flexibility. You mean we can just change the order of the words?
Yes, we can flip the two halves. We can put the result first and the if condition second.
Oh, I see. So instead of starting with, if I have money, I will buy a car, I can turn it around and say, I will buy a car if I have money.
Precisely. The meaning is exactly the same. It is 100% identical in meaning.
That is useful.
But there is a very small change in the punctuation when you write it down.
The comma.
You guessed it.
Hmm.
When you start the sentence with if, you need a comma in the middle to separate the two parts. It represents a small, natural pause in your speech. If it rains, pause, I will stay home.
But what if we flip it?
If is in the middle of the sentence, the comma completely disappears. I will stay home if it rains. The word if acts as the connector. It is the glue holding the whole sentence together, so we just don't need the punctuation mark anymore.
That is a really great tip for writing. So if in the middle means no comma. If at the start means use a comma.
Exactly. Keep that in mind for your emails, everyone. Now, speaking of writing, I believe you have written something down in your notebook over there.
I have. I've written down my absolute master plan, my destiny.
This brings us to segment 4, story time. I invited our resident dreamer here to share his very specific daydream about the lottery ticket he is holding in his hand right now.
This is not just a silly story. This is a prophecy. I have mapped out my entire future based on these exact numbers.
Okay. I want you to read it for us, but listeners, please pay close attention. He is going to use the first conditional repeatedly. I want you to listen for the word if, followed immediately by the present tense. The stage is yours.
Let me just clear my throat. Thank you. Here is the true story of the winning ticket.
Go ahead.
I am holding the ticket, I am looking at it, and I think if I win the jackpot, I will be a millionaire.
Stop right there. If I win, present tense, perfect start, continue.
If I become a millionaire, I will quit my job.
If I become, not will become. Very good.
If I quit my job, I will buy a private island, a really big one, with lots of palm trees.
Of course, palm trees are essential.
And if I buy an island, I will need a house, but not just any house. If I build a house, it will have 10 bedrooms.
10 bedrooms? Who on earth is going to sleep in 10 bedrooms?
My friends. If my friends visit, they will stay in absolute luxury. But wait, there's more. If I have a big house, I will need a lot of staff. If I hire a private chef, I will eat lobster every single day.
Lobster every day. Your cholesterol will go up.
If my cholesterol goes up, I will hire a personal trainer. You see, I have a solution for absolutely everything.
You really have thought this through. It's like a massive domino effect.
Right.
One conditional triggers the next one.
Exactly. A chain reaction. If the trainer makes me fit, I will look amazing.
Yeah.
And if I look amazing, my wonderful co-host will visit me on my island.
Oh, I will. That is very generous of you to invite me to your imaginary island.
Of course. We can record the podcast there. You can have the biggest guest house.
Thank you. So, in this story, you have successfully built a chain of events. A leads to B, B leads to C, C leads to D, all using the first conditional. It really shows how our actions or our luck can have a cascading effect on the future.
Yes, exactly. And the excitement is really building now. My heart is beating so fast. I am watching the TV. The lottery announcer is coming on the screen right now. She is spinning the big ball machine.
Okay, let's do the reality check. This is the moment of truth in the story. What
Huh.
happens next?
I am watching the little balls drop. The first number is 4.
Okay. Look at your ticket. Do you have a 4?
Let me check. No. I have a 5.
Ah.
That is okay. It's just one number. The night is young.
All right, next number.
The next number is 15.
Check your ticket again.
I have 16. So close. Why is it literally always one number off?
Because close doesn't count in the lottery. That is how statistics work.
Fine. Next number is 23.
And you have.
I have 90. That is not even close. That is in a completely different zip code of numbers.
And what is the final number?
The final number is 42.
And let me guess, you do not have 42.
No. I have a picture of a sad cat that I drew on my notebook. But no 42 on the ticket.
Oh, dear.
I have none of the numbers. Not one. 0.
The tone has shifted completely. You sound very, very sad now.
I am devastated. My island, my beautiful helicopter, my daily lobster dinners, my personal trainer, they're all just dissolving like mist. Poof. Gone.
I am so sorry to laugh, but this was exactly the lesson I warned you about at the beginning of the episode.
It is not funny. I am poor again. I am back to my bicycle.
Well, let's apply one final first conditional to your current situation. If you don't go to work tomorrow, you will be fired. No island for you.
That is so harsh. Wait, if you don't go to work, You're using the negative present simple then.
Exactly. Good catch. If
Ah,
you do not go, even in the negative, it is still the present tense. We absolutely don't say if you won't go.
fine. I will go to work. I have to earn more money to buy a ticket for next week's draw anyway.
You really never learn. But before you run off to buy another ticket, we have one more very important grammar concept to cover today.
Oh, there is more.
Yes. We just talked extensively about the first conditional, which is for possibilities. Things that might happen in the future, like winning the lottery, maybe, or rain, maybe.
But what if something is completely sure? What if it is not a maybe at all? What if it is a solid fact?
That is a fantastic question. For facts, we use a different structure called the zero conditional.
Zero conditional. I like the sound of that. It sounds very absolute, like zero doubt.
It is absolute. We use this when the result is guaranteed. It is 100% certain. It is often used for scientific facts, general truths, or rules of nature.
Give me the formula for zero doubt.
The formula changes slightly. In the first conditional, we had will in the second part, right?
Right.
Well, in the zero conditional, we completely remove will.
No will at all.
No will. The formula is if plus present simple, comma, present simple.
Present and present. Both sides are exactly the same tense.
Yes, because the event happens every single time. It is a timeless truth. Here is a classic scientific example. Listen closely. If you heat ice, it melts.
If you heat ice, it melts. Not it will melt.
Exactly. Now, you could say will melt and people would totally understand you, but strictly speaking, will implies a specific future event, like one single time in the future. But ice melting when heated is a fundamental law of physics. It always happens. So we use the present simple to show it is a permanent fact. It melts.
I see. It definitely makes it sound more permanent, more factual.
Exactly. Here's another example, maybe more personal fact. If I drink coffee at night, I don't sleep.
Oh, that is definitely true for me, too. If I drink an espresso after 6 p.m., I just stare at the ceiling all night long. If I drink, I don't sleep. Present, present.
Exactly.
Can I try one? Let me think. Okay, if I spend all my money on lottery tickets, I am broke.
That is a perfect, zero conditional. It is a fact of life. It is 100% true. There is no maybe about it.
So, first conditional is for the future, maybe. Zero conditional is for the general, always.
That is a brilliant summary. You are really catching on fast today.
I told you, I am very smart. I just make bad financial decisions.
Yeah. Well, let's put that smartness to the final test. We have arrived at segment 6. It is time for the what if game.
Oh, I love games. Is there a prize for winning? Can I win a jackpot?
The prize is knowledge and the deep satisfaction of using perfect English grammar.
Okay, that is a very boring prize, but I will play anyway. How does it work?
It is a fast-paced drill. I am going to give you the if condition. You have to immediately shout out a logical result. Use will if it is a first conditional possibility, or use the present tense if it's a zero conditional fact.
Okay.
You have to be fast. Do not think too much. Just react naturally.
I am ready. I am pumped. Let's go.
Round 1. If it rains
I
tomorrow...
will bring an umbrella.
Good. Very fast reaction. Round 2. If you study English every day.
I will speak perfectly.
A bit optimistic, but grammatically correct. Round 3. If I give you $1 million.
I will buy 10 million pizzas.
10 million pizzas. That is an unbelievable amount of cheese.
Yeah.
But the grammar is perfect. I will buy...
I am hungry. Do not judge me.
Okay, round 4. Listen carefully. This is a trap. If you put water in the freezer...
I will, wait. No. If you put water in the freezer, it turns into ice.
Uh-huh. You caught it?
I did. I almost fell for it. I did not say it will turn. I said it turns. Because that is a fact. It is the zero conditional.
I am so proud of you. You didn't fall into the trap at all. You recognized that freezing water is a scientific fact, so you switched perfectly to the zero conditional.
I am a grammar master. Who even needs a lottery ticket when you have the zero conditional?
Well, I think you might still secretly want the ticket, but at least now you can complain about losing your money in perfect English.
That is true. If I lose, I will be sad. First conditional. So sad.
Exactly. Well, we are coming to the end of our deep dive today. Let's do a quick recap for all our listeners out there.
Yes, let's review. What are the main takeaways from today?
First, we covered some vocabulary, we talked about what it means to afford things, and we discussed the dangers of daydreaming.
Then we talked about the enemies. If and will. They completely hate each other. Never, ever put them together.
Correct. The word if acts as a time machine that pushes the verb into the present tense. If it rains, not if it will rain.
And we learned the magic formula. If plus present, will plus verb. Like, if I have time, I will help you.
And finally, we looked at the zero conditional for absolute facts. If you heat ice, it melts.
It has really been a journey today. I started the episode as a potential millionaire, and I end it as a humble English student.
But you are a much wiser student now, and knowledge is worth more than money.
I really don't know about that. I still think I would prefer the private island. But I will keep studying English.
That is good to hear. And that brings us to our final provocative thought for the listeners. It is homework time.
Oh, I love giving other people homework. What do they have to do?
I want all of you listening to ask yourselves a very specific question, and I want you to answer it using the first conditional. The question is, what will you do if you learn English perfectly?
Ooh, that is a really good one. Like, if I learn English perfectly,
I will get a better job, or maybe I will travel the world, or I will write a book.
I will understand every single joke in American movies without subtitles.
Exactly. Whatever your dream is, create your own if and will sentence. Say it out loud to yourself. Write it down in a notebook. Make it your concrete goal.
And if you write it down, maybe it will actually come true. Like a magic spell.
Or just good, solid planning. Thank you for joining our deep dive today, dreamers. Keep practicing, and please do not let the double future mistake haunt your sentences.
Goodbye, dreamers. Keep reaching for that jackpot.
Until next time.